50. It's 43 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Lisa Brooks.
Download our app to listen on your smartphone. KIRO Radio 97.3 FM with Tom and Curly now on your drive home.
From the Carter Subaru Studios, this is the G and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the 10 o'clock hour of the show, and Aaron Mason from KIRO Nights, I call him Brother Mace. Woo! He's filling in for Ursula as Ursula is out there on the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
You having a good time?
I'm having a great time, man.
We got a lot going on in this 10 o'clock hour. Yes, we have guests that's going to be coming in. We have Clare DeLong. She's going to be joining us. She's the director of Washington's Paid Family Leave. She'll join us here in about at 10:30, we got a guest coming in, and at 10:45, we'll have some scenarios going on. But, you know, I want to just say something because I got a text from Tim in Tacoma. And Tim in Tacoma is like, hey, G, less Corona news. Yes, we know what's going on, but, you know, we want to get to something else. The same one thing. And you know what? We're trying. At the same time, we're also going to give you your information as well. So, but we're going to try to bring some fun into the show in light of what's going on. As a matter of fact, some of the topics that we discussed and we talked about in the last segment, we were talking about if you have ever not cheated, but spent or purchased something with
secret
purchases without your significant other knowing. And I'm telling you right now, the texts coming in
so funny
were phenomenal.
Yeah.
360 says, I spent a year getting $2 or $3 cash back each time I would go to the grocery store, saving up to $2,000 for a camera for my wife that she really wanted. Yeah, that was 4 years ago, and she's used that camera twice.
I also love 425 said, my wife and I have a joint account, and just last week I bought a train horn for our golf cart that she doesn't know about, but she will when I use the horn. Yeah.
And then last one from the 206, yes, I get cash back from the grocery store to pay for the house cleaner so I can get a massage or get my nails done on my day off instead of having to clean myself. Nothing makes my husband happier than a clean house, and nothing makes me happier than a massage. It's a win.
It's a win-win, baby.
All right. I love that. Again, we're going to be having more fun in the show. Don't worry, towards the end of this hour, but we're going to take care of business right now because there's so many questions that are being asked of what's going on with the new paid family leave program. And so who better to answer some of these questions, some of these concerns, than the director of that place is Clare DeLong. She joins the G and Ursula show right now. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, good. So we got a few questions that have come in, but before we get to that, let me ask you this. In your opinion, how do you think things are going right now with the paid family leave program?
Sure. Well, I do just want to start by kind of giving a quick lay of the land of what the paid family medical leave program is for those who haven't heard of it or maybe heard about it in passing. So paid family medical leave is a brand new program here in Washington State. We just launched on January 1st. And it's a program where people are able to take paid time off to care for themselves or a family member when they need it most. So that could be maybe you're taking care of your mom who's in the hospital, you are recovering from surgery, or you can use it to bond with a new child coming into the home through birth, adoption, and foster placement. So again, these situations where we all have in our lives and really just need to be away from work and take some of that paid time to be there for our family. So we are only the 5th state in the nation to get a program like this, and we're actually the first to do it really from scratch. So a lot of the other states, they added on paid family medical leave to an existing program, and so we've built this thing from the ground up, and we're super excited about having that here in Washington. So that's kind of a quick synopsis of what the program is. And as we launched in January, it was very clear very quickly that it was a popular program and people really need this.
What has the response looked like?
It's been tremendous. It's been, in a lot of ways really fantastic where thousands of families have been able to use this program that didn't exist just over 2 months ago. And so we got over 30,000 applications in the first 6 weeks. Which constitutes sort of upward about 4 times what we were expecting.
Wow.
So it really has been a tremendous response and really speaks to that need that families have in the state to take that time to be there for themselves and the loved ones.
Before I get to some of the questions that I have, you mentioned that it was with that 30,000 that was 4 times the amount that you thought that you would get. Were you guys prepared for that?
So, all of those folks have been able to come in. They've been able to apply. Clearly we were able to leverage our outreach and communications to get that out there. So we're really excited about that. That being said, no one could have predicted this level of response. And so from that standpoint, it has created a much longer processing time than we anticipated. In fact, right now it could be upwards of 10 weeks, which we absolutely know is too long. And our team is working so hard to be able to work through that backlog as quickly as possible. We're putting a lot of mitigation steps in place to make sure that we can get through those applications as quickly as possible. So I would say the team is amazing here. They're working so hard. They're just doing a fantastic job and getting through these applications even faster than we thought we were going to be able to. But that said, the response was just so tremendous. We're bringing in a lot of reinforcements right now to make sure we can get those processing times down.
10 weeks, I agree with you, is a long time for people to wait to get their checks. Do you have any timeline where you expect to be caught up to the overwhelming demand?
Yeah, so we are, like I said, bringing all resources to bear, and we've been hiring new people. We already had some start just this week, and we have some more starting in the middle of the month. That will continue. We have a goal of getting that down to 2 weeks by the end of June. So you'll see it kind of ratchet down as time goes on, as these mitigations take hold. We do anticipate 10 weeks to be the peak. And so folks that have applied up until this point may see that really too long processing time, but we'll see that go down as these mitigations take hold. So, that's our goal, and we're working really hard, and so far things are on track to be getting those processing times down.
That is the voice of Clare DeLong, director of Washington's Paid Family Leave Program. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and I want to take some of these questions from some of our listeners. And actually, the first question happens to be from a coworker here. It's he and his wife. And here's the first one, and I hope you can help us out with some of these. Sure. I've been receiving payments from the state, but my last one was a lower amount than all of the previous ones. I didn't receive any communication about this. Why would the amount change in this situation?
Sure, that's a great question. So there could be a number of reasons why your benefit amount would change from week to week. Typically, your first week and your last week are going to be less because it's paid, it's evaluated on a weekly basis. And so basically, if you're filing for only part of the week, or you're running out of that time or that sort of thing, you're going to see that payment adjust because you're just essentially not taking as many days of leave. There's other factors that can affect it, like if you have taken some paid time off that week, if you've done a little bit of work that week, all of those things will reduce that benefit payment because we pay, obviously, benefits for the times that you're not working.
Another question, Claire, is I never received my approval confirmation letter despite being approved online and receiving payments. How do I get a copy?
So your letters are sent to the address in which you provide to us when you create your account. So I can't speak exactly to that person's individual situation, but they might want to go in and ensure that their mailing address is correct in our system. So again, it could just be a lag. I don't know. It depends on what time, when they were approved. It's going to show up online immediately and then obviously takes a few days in the mail. So there could be that lag time. Could be a number of things, but I certainly encourage anybody who has created an account, applied, to make sure that the information they provided is correct.
So is there any chance, we've heard from Governor Inslee about potentially taking measures to shut down commerce and in response to this coronavirus. Is there any way that the paid family leave can help if kids' schools are canceled and parents need to stay home, or if their workplace shuts down?
Yeah, so, at the moment, quarantine is not a medical condition, so it wasn't really contemplated in paid family and medical leave. Obviously, we're working in close collaboration with the governor's office and other state agencies to just work really hard at addressing this sort of evolving outbreak. That said, for those who are sick, who have been tested positive and are sick with the coronavirus, it does contemplate obviously taking leave for medical conditions. So I really encourage folks, if that is their situation, to go to our website, and that's paidleave.wa.gov, so paidleave.wa.gov. And the website is set up to really walk you through what you need to know, how to get prepared, how to create your account and file an application. So I really encourage folks to go to the website to learn more. As the coronavirus information kind of evolves, we will be updating our website as well as the main Employment Security Department website. And so, if you have as things change potentially or more information comes to light, you can certainly go to our websites for that information. And then, of course, the Department of Health's website is the place to go for the most updated information. So that's DOH.wa.gov, so Department of Health, DOH.wa.gov.
Last question for you. And again, thank you so much for being so kind, for answering some of these questions. And this is kind of simple. Are you aware right now with everything going on with the coronavirus, are you aware of any conversations that are happening right now to discuss financial help for those that do have to leave for work and schools closure and things like that?
Well, there's obviously robust response going on to plan for this, and I'm really proud of the work that folks across the state are doing to address this outbreak. And I think that there are a number of programs that can help both workers and employers right now if they're being affected by this. So, if you lose your job, you may be eligible for unemployment insurance. If you're sick, you can use paid family and medical leave. There's a number of programs that are out there already and set up for folks who need to be able to get that financial help for what their situation may be. So again, really proud of the work that folks across the state are doing, working really hard to make sure that we're doing everything we can to support families and maintain that economic stability during this time. So as I say, more information is just going to be coming out, I'm sure, over the next few days and weeks, and just we're updating our website in the next couple of days with just some FAQs to kind of help guide people, that sort of thing. So like I say, there's already programs out there. Really encourage people to go to the Department of Health website for the most up-to-date info, and then they can always check out Employment Security Department's website as well.
Clare DeLong, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Anytime. I appreciate you having me.
That's the director of Washington Paid's Family Leave Program, and she so gracious to join the show.
Yeah.
I probably could, as always, our guests, we could always talk to them for a long time. And here's what I got from that interview. I think right away when she said that they've gotten 33,000 applicants, and the fact that it's 4 times as much as they had prepared for.
Yeah.
And now it's 10 weeks until June until you're able to get your stuff.
Right.
That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very frustrating time, and they're going to have to come back to the table and readdress this. So the little amount right now that's coming out of your check, in my opinion, is probably going to have to be more in the future. By the way, I saw the little number that came out of my check. I'm like, oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't. I think they were the only ones who didn't expect
Hold on
that large.
Hold on one second. This is impressive. Sully, get it.
Yeah.
Sully.
Yeah.
Sully.
Traffic. No more traffic.
Chris Sullivan from Seattle Morning's News, the traffic czar here in the town. Sully, I'll be honest with you. I want to talk traffic. It doesn't even matter what you want to talk about. We need some levity brought to our show.
Oh, really? That's what I bring?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right,
you want to
I
talk
never
about.
have facts. You're right. That's that's somebody else's job.
I have no idea what you're going to talk about.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I want to talk about what happened this morning.
Okay.
On the roads. This was one of the oddest morning commutes we have had in a very long time. And I don't want to blame this all on our coronavirus situation because I'm sure there are things going on there that I'm not aware of. But it is pretty clear that there's been a tectonic shift in our behavior.
Tell us why you
in our region.
Tell us why.
Well, because the roads look like 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Wow.
Today.
Wow.
They did not. I mean, we're talking about roads from Everett to Seattle, I-5, Everett to Bellevue, that were running 40 minutes at 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning.
What?
Normally, those would be about an hour and 15, hour and 20. They were running. Sometimes the delay is 40 minutes on a Thursday. It was 40 minutes alone just to make. There was no one out there.
Wow.
I mean, Renton to Bellevue, which usually never gets the memo on the fact we're going to be Friday light or whatever, it was running at 30 minutes or less, 15, 12 minutes out of Auburn on the Valley Freeway. It was stark. Because early this morning, I'm like, okay, people are kind of moving. We had a couple accidents, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Wow.
It was one of those really odd days that, honestly, I've worked plenty of holidays, and it looked lighter than Memorial Day, Labor Day.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Troopers are out there ticketing tumbleweeds.
Well, see, the funny thing is normally there is not a lot of enforcement because they're responding to so many accidents. Because there were so few people on the road, state troopers were out doing a little. They were hunting out there, and they were getting easy prey because the roads you could have gone 75 or 80. I'm not saying you should, but you could have. And there were people getting caught, 128th and Everett, going, coming up here or there. So they were out there, making sure that they go. Just because the roads are open doesn't mean you can go crazy.
Right.
But yeah, it was odd.
Let me ask you something, because there's been a big push during, especially in the last week or so, for people to work from home if they can.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you're seeing probably the largest number of people who are working from home than ever have in our region. Would you credit that?
I would say that has a big. Again, this is all anecdotal stuff.
Sure.
Because our text line is full. I've been asking people for 2 days now, and they're all telling me the same story. It's my business. My kid's out of school. Or maybe I'm just a little freaked out about the virus, so I'm staying home. It's a personal choice. Bunch of different things going on. But yeah, this is something that but the problem with that, Aaron, is that it's not a sustainable answer, right? I don't know very many people who can take more than a couple of days off if their boss tells them to, or can telecommute because of their schedules for extended periods of time.
Right.
Because people tried this when we shut down the viaduct a year ago. Remember that 3 weeks of hell we were all preparing everybody for?
Via-doom.
We seemed to get through it okay, but it's not a realistic long-term situation for people who have kids trying to get childcare taken care of. I mean, for a couple of days, yeah. But if this is one of those things where it kind of keeps going and going and going, it's great that big employers like Amazon and whoever else, to F5, all the Microsoft are telling people to, but at least they're still working. They can telecommute. But that tells you that there is a potential for enough people in our region to be able to do that.
Thank you.
That maybe we don't need to have those face-to-face meetings. Maybe I don't need to come in from my office in Bothell to do that face-to-face monthly meeting with somebody at our downtown offices. I can do it via Skype, we can find. And if you don't need to talk to people, like person-to-person customer service kind of stuff, maybe you can off-shift. Maybe this is something that's viable long-term. But right now I think it's more reactionary, and I'm not sure how long, how many legs this has to be able to do this long-term. I don't know how viable that is. But whatever you did today, damn. People were saying, you know what, I'm just going to drive from Stanwood to Seattle at 80 miles an hour just to say I did it because I can never do that. So,
Sully,
I don't know. It's interesting.
You're a traffic guy. You can't say that.
Okay, I'm not telling you to go do that. I was saying that's what a texter told me he was going to do.
Right.
And then I told him to watch out
Don't
for
shoot the
Smokey,
messenger.
Thanks, Sully.
who was very busy.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, coming up next, Dr. Celine Gallender, an infectious diseases specialist, an epidemiologist, and the host of the Epidemic in American Diagnosis podcast. She joins the show next. It's the Gene Ursa Show.